Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, welcome to another Market Open stream. Today, we got to see what's going to happen in markets, especially with that government shutdown looming. However, we have two legends, and I bet you don't know who one of them is, but two legends just signaled a massive Bitcoin move is right around the corner. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about everything else that's going on today. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome. We are starting out today, Bitcoin at 113.3, which is a little bit lower than yesterday. We got up to 114.8, but mostly hovered around 114.4, so we're about $1,000 lower. And I think that's because, Wall Street's a little scared about what's coming. Right now, we're opening up the day in the red. As you can see, most things are in the red, but just slightly. Not like a deep dumping red. Because yesterday was actually really good. Really good all across the board, right? So hoping that we don't see that red, and so far we're not starting out that way. It seems like we're going to get that shutdown. Vance says after Trump met with the leaders on both sides, they're too far apart, and there's going to be a shutdown. Okay, and this is, again, debating over budget for this time health insurance or just health care in general. And I don't know why all of a sudden this has become a big issue. I thought all this was already negotiated in the big, beautiful bill, but apparently it's not. So we may be entering a shutdown. And the last time we had a shutdown, it was during Trump's term as well, in 2018 and 2019, and it lasted for like 35 days or something like that. But according to analysts, that government shutdowns usually have little economic impact. However, this time around could be different because the departments that are supposed to be giving out the data, they're not going to anymore, including, Department of Labor, which is supposed to be releasing the employment data or jobs data from last month. They already said they're not going to do it. I don't know why you just can't deploy a person and just go do it. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's in the computer already. It's not like they're hand doing it at the last minute. By now, it's Tuesday. There's only 3 days left. But we get these threats okay, we're not going to get jobs data because of government shutdown tomorrow, right? Why can't someone just go in there and then pull the data without needing 10,000 people in the building? It boggles my mind how that works. In a normal job, people go in on the weekends, people go in at night. If no one goes in, the boss goes in and takes care of business. But somehow we have a government shutdown. Every freaking federal worker somehow just stops working and just chooses to do nothing. How about you just do something? How about you just pull some numbers from a computer and release it? What is the big deal? It boggles my mind how this works. It's like everyone just drops everything and just pretends like that's okay. But anyways, yeah. So I guess that's what people are afraid of. We don't get these data. Then how are we going to know if the rate cut percentages are going to go up or down? That's what people are fearful of. But it boggles my mind how this works. All right. Outside of this, let's talk about Jim Cramer. Everyone loves Jim Cramer. I thought this is interesting. There's nothing to do with the shutdown, although he did say something else that relates to shutdown, but this relates to AI. And, some people think AI is it's going to crash. And it's in a bubble right now because everyone's so hardcore into AI. But what he said in this makes a lot of sense. And I lived through a dot-com bubble, and it sucks. It really sucked. And basically he's saying, well, back in the dot-com bubble, a lot of people, investors, were just investing in a lot of these different companies that are up and coming, like pets.com or something, and they were evaluated at $100 million, even though they had nothing. These days, it's all about the big tech companies, like, you know, Meta and Google and Microsoft and OpenAI and Oracle now and stuff like that. These guys, they have basically endless money. They're not going to go away. Even if they slip up a little bit, it's a bump in the road. It doesn't mean that they're just going to collapse. They're beyond collapsing now. So that actually makes a lot of sense. I just thought I'd share that in case some of you guys are AI doubters. But Jim Cramer also says everyone should buy Bitcoin and crypto as insurance to counter this potentially devastating crash because of our $37 trillion of debt. And that seems to never stop. That debt clock keeps on rising, and eventually it's all going to fall, right? So that is one thing I think everyone could agree upon. Even though inverse Cramer is usually correct, in this case, I'm going to declare, no, not inverse Cramer. Regular Cramer is correct on this point. This is why Bitcoin was created and why so many people are turning to Bitcoin, because of this fear that the debt will mount to a point where everything collapses, and you got to protect yourself from that. All right, what else? Bitcoin inflow. Yesterday, massive recovery day, 518 million, although we still had a little bit come out of BlackRock, and that's very unusual. You never usually see 2 consecutive days of outflow. But all the other funds took in massive amounts, so 518 million yesterday. And Ethereum, even better, 547 million. And Ethereum needed that because it had 5 straight outflow days, okay? So yesterday, obviously, was a good day for crypto, good day for stocks. Let's hope it can continue and not everyone gets scared of the government shutdown. All right, now let's talk about some legends, okay? One out of left field. And I saw this tweet, and I didn't know what to think of it, whether he is who he says he is, but apparently he is. And I'm talking about the world's smartest man. And no, that's not me. There's this memory grandmaster who has an IQ of 276. I think most people's IQ is like around 100. Like genius level is 130s to 150s. And you're talking about like all-time smart people's like 170 plus. And this guy has 276. Anyways, he tweeted out saying that he's going all in with Bitcoin. He sold everything, all his assets, and converted it to Bitcoin. This is coming from the world's smartest man. So think about that. Someone said my IQ is yellow. I don't even know what that means. But it's funny as hell. And maybe Saylor. I don't know what his IQ is, but his Bitcoin IQ is probably at least 276. He purchased another 21.1 million. That's a very small buy, but regardless, a buy is a buy. DCA, right? Doesn't matter if it's a large amount, small amount. You just want to DCA as much as you can. The smartest man already did with his entire net worth. Maybe that means something. Tether also secretly purchased 8,888 Bitcoin. $1 billion. Okay. And this is because Tether has dedicated X percentage amount every quarter to buying Bitcoin with their profits. And their profits are through the roof. Okay, through the roof. You know, I still remember the early days of Tether, all the controversies and how they couldn't pass an audit. And there was always fears about Tether collapsing because they just can't pay back people. Now it's like, that's in the past, right? I guess it's like what they say, you fake it until you make it. That's what happened with Tether. They are so rich now. They make billions upon billions of dollars from the transaction fees every single quarter. It's quite amazing just to think about, just within the last 8 years, in 2017 to now. It's crazy. It's the same thing with Binance. It's amazing. I still remember when I was first starting out, this is just a side story. When I started out in 2017 with my channel, I actually received a Binance email, not from CZ, but just a Binance email saying that they like me to promote them because they just came out. And that was 2017, like pretty late in 2017 too. And look at who they are today. Things can change really quickly. As long as you have the drive to do it, you could really do anything. That's how I feel. And that's going to relate to something I'm going to say at the end of this. All right, what else? CZ. Okay, he's the other legend. He also tweeted this, say, not predicting the future and don't get too excited. When someone like starts something like that, you know it's meant to get you excited. Okay, it's like when someone says to you, no offense, and then they're going to say something very offensive, like as if the no offense part makes up for it. No offense, you look like you gained some weight recently. So he's trying to do that reverse psychology with this. A September my past, first cycle, just saying, you know, speaking in 2017, right? That's what happened. That's what happened. I don't even know what he's showing. Is that market cap or BNB price? I don't even know what he's actually showing here, but 2017 was crazy. 2017 is crazy, right? So he's predicting something is going to happen and it's going to repeat and it's going to be really good, right? Really, really good. And I believe him because we're entering October. Number of holders, sharks. Sharks is crazy, okay? Whales are crazy enough, but sharks are also crazy. Sharks, is anyone holding 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin? If you're holding 1,000 Bitcoin, I think you're a whale. I don't even think you're a shark, okay? If you're holding 500 Bitcoin, you're a whale. You're not a shark. But anyways, the point of this is it's gone up, the number of holders that are sharks, gone up by 1 million, okay, within a year. 1 million. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And you could see the last few months, the last 6 months, no dipping at all. So obviously a lot of accumulation is still happening. So right now, Bitcoin, you know, may seem like it's stagnant, but we're in a really good holding spot, and we're getting ready for that next leg up, the parabolic phase, and we're looking very, very, very similar to last year. Very similar to last year. That, you know, that sideways movement, if you look at in 2024, didn't start until like the second week in October. Then October really happened, and look at what happened November is when we really started going, right? We're actually like mimicking last year like to the T. And guess what happened last year in September? We had rate cuts start happening, just like this September. So think about that. Think about that, my friends. All right, what else? Crypto ETFs could be approved any day now. SEC actually came out and told all these fund makers to like remove some kind of form because they're not required anymore. The SEC is super like lenient these days. Basically, they said we came up with a generic form. Okay, as long as you guys follow it, you're good. You're good. And the American exchanges like NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, CME, they could go list. That's what the SEC yesterday said. Like basically they said like, stop bothering us with more forms. If you guys comply with these generic standards, you're good. Go ahead and list. That's basically what the SEC said yesterday. It's super bullish, which means basically every single crypto ETF that we have for Solana and XRP and everyone else, Chainlink and SUI and AVAX and Cardano, they're all going to get approved any day. And they're probably going to be listed in like November. Again, timing with altcoin season perfectly. It's actually super bullish. I think most people missed this. Anyways, get ready for that too. Speaking of Solana, Animoca Brands is going to be tokenized and be put on Solana. That's interesting. Animoca Brands is just like a huge holding company these days. And they're involved with a lot of games out there. Absolutely huge. But Solana also attracted a ton of inflows last week, 291, when everyone else basically had outflows. Well, not everyone else. XRP and SUI had inflows. So institutional interest is sky high. And I think it's going to continue with the ETFs. What else? Kazakhstan bought BNB to kick off his national reserve. Not sure why they chose BNB, but maybe CZ and Kazakhstan are very close. I don't know, but we'll take it. We'll take it. And then Chainlink, after Swift gave XRP a snub, they're partnering up with Chainlink for tokenized funds, which is cool. But Swift also, they chose Linea as the main chain that they're going to be using messaging with. And that's huge with Linea. I didn't even check if they went up, but most likely they did. All right. That's pretty much it. Clash update. 11.4 million. We're about the same as yesterday. I mean, I got to say, you just look at that chart. That's a beautiful looking chart. Yes, we did fly up to 18 million and we withstood this, this drop. And now we're climbing back and it looks like a giant wedge looking to break out. That is a beautiful, beautiful chart. And most importantly, number of holders are going up by 200 every single day. We're almost at 2,500. I think yesterday we were at like 23 something. So we're definitely building a community here, guys. A lot of you guys are still ignoring this project, but we're building, we're growing, and I'm not going to stop. And if we do enter altcoin season within the next 3 months, 2 months, imagine where this project could be. I built this during a bad period, during a stale period for crypto. We'll see where it goes during altcoin season. All right, now this giveaway form, I'm being extra generous. So yesterday we were at like 500 something. We're at almost 700. So what I'm doing is I'm lowering the requirements. Okay, yesterday was 20,000 Clash. I lowered it 10,000. So basically, that's like $100, a little bit over $100. Okay, all you have to do is hold that in your wallet, submit it in this giveaway form, and you're eligible to win SOL. A lot of SOL. I've been giving out SOL left and right to bring more awareness to you guys. And let's do a drawing right now. I streamed last night. We had about 200 people tune in, like 180, 190 between Pump and I Am George channel, which is a really good number for Monday. So I hope to see more of you guys in there tonight and for the rest of this week. And we will host another huge prize tournament this Friday. And everyone loves it. All right. Again, I hope I'm going to build this into my website. If any of you guys are web developers familiar with Tilda, reach out to me, because I have a feeling, not that this is going to fail, but this wheel site is going to fail because it takes like 10 minutes for it to populate. Look, I mean, this is a crazy amount here. All right, let's see. I just pasted. Let's see how long this will take to. That's not bad. All right, we got 696 wallets in here. Yesterday, I selected 2 that was not eligible. Hopefully, that's not the case today. You know what? I'm going to be giving out. Let's see. We're just going to have some fun today, okay? I'm going to give out 5. I'm going to do 5 draws, and each one being at 0.3 SOL. How about that? It's about 100. Wait, it's about 100? No, that's about $60. Yeah, it's about $60. Yeah. So, 60 something. I need to get my soul scan ready. All right, let's do the first one. He definitely does. 122,000 Clash. Congratulations. Let me put it in here. The first one. And then let's do a second one. See, notice I don't remove, right? Just because you win once doesn't mean you can't win again. That's the whole point of this. You could keep winning, and I'm going to keep on giving it out. This person holds 32,000 Clash. Winner. Winner, winner. So that's 2 in a row. Let's see. This person holds no Clash. None whatsoever. So you lose. You lose. So in fact, this one I will remove because he's not holding any Clash. See? Why would you do that, right? He either panic sold or put in an address that didn't have it. No point. You just lost out. All right, so let's see if this is the third winner here. 111,000 Clash. Okay, third winner here. Let's do 2 more. Wow. 20 million Clash. This guy holds 20 million Clash. He holds $235,000 worth of Clash. Now, it sounds like a lot, but this guy could have bought very early, and that was only like $200 at the time. Remember, when this project launched, it launched at 35K market cap. When I started streaming on Pump.fun the first time, it was like 35, 40K market cap. So now he's a whale. For that guy, I'm going to up it to 0.5 SOL. Okay, I got to do that. 0.6, I'll double it. So this guy will get 0.6 SOL. Even though he doesn't need it, but still. And let's do one more. That's not my wallet. I didn't put my wallets in here. All right, let's see. Is this the last person here? 25K SOL meets the requirement. Awesome. So, yeah, that's the fifth one. So, congrats. These people will get 0.3 SOL. With the exception of the whale, he's going to get 0.6. It's that simple. The form is in the description. If you guys want to be eligible, hold some Clash. And I'll continue to do this more and more and more. And you're eligible to participate in the prize tournament. You could play for free. I'm not forcing where you have to hold Clash to play. Anyone could join and play for fun. But you need to hold some Clash to win the prizes. And prizes are huge. Last week, I gave out $4,000 worth of prizes and giveaways. And I don't know what it's going to be this week. It could be even bigger. All right, let's do some Q&A. Oh man, looking at this, Robinhood is up even more. Yesterday they were up 12% and they're still up 2% yesterday. I can't tell you, like I made an absolute killing with my Robinhood options yesterday. And it's even higher today. I think I'm going to take some profits today. But I made a shitload from Robinhood so far. And I've been telling you guys about it. I've been, you know, out of all the stocks, I'm like, Robinhood is the one that I believe in the most because it's involved with crypto. It's involved with stocks. All the young people use Robinhood to trade. They have no competition. Young people don't go on Schwab to trade. And they're just absolutely killing it. Where can you buy Clash? Yeah, you can buy it in many places. You can buy a MEXC if you want, although I don't recommend it. Liquidity is small. You could do a swap within Phantom Wallet. You can go on Jupiter and buy it also. It's all in the description. Or if you need more help, you don't know how to do any of that, just join the Discord. Discord members are super, super helpful. I did watch Peacemaker yesterday, and I thought it was a good episode. Really good episode. That surprise at the end was great, and that surprise guest in the prison, also good. But it shows you DC. You know, it's kind of funny because I think Peacemaker is such a nobody in the DC like world, but they're trying to make it. They know that the show is probably the most popular thing they have, because I think the new Superman movie did not do well at all. Will Robinhood list Clash? I hope so. I don't have any contacts within Robinhood. I did, but then that person got fired, so I don't quite know how to get a hold of them. They're hard to get listings, so it's probably harder than even Coinbase listings. This will come in time. If Clash grows the way I think it is, it's, you know, 20 million, next 50 million, 100 million. Once it grows, I mean, exchanges will list. Even without asking me, they'll just do it. Thoughts on Lakers this season? Well, if Luka is locked in, then they will do very well. LeBron is only his performance is only going to decrease from here. He's not going to get any better. Luka, I'm expecting, will be like averaging 35 points a game this season. He got embarrassed last season. He knows that. And embarrassed them in the playoffs. And everyone's calling him fat. And I think he's really going to lock in this year. If he's going to average 35 points a game this year, they're going to do well. Someone asked me, what's going on with Aster? You know, I think a lot of people are giving up hope that it's not going to be listed on Binance. It is. But, yeah, a lot of people are taking profits. I bought a lot of Aster, but I bought it much lower. But still, like, I don't enjoy this going down. What if Clash Royale becomes a dead game? Well, it's been out for 9 years. And then it went through a period where it wasn't hot. And then it got really hot again. So it's probably a type of game that will never die. It might not be as hot, but right now it's like everyone's playing it. Everyone's playing it. Every single kid on the planet is playing it. And not just like young kids, but like high school, like college kids. I mean, like you got everyone playing it. And you got a lot of adults that played it 10 years ago and they still know it. It makes it really easy to make collaborations because almost everyone I talk to, the first thing I ask is, do you play Clash Royale? And 50% of the time they say yes. So it's really helpful to be using a game that's very popular. Yeah, Keith says it too. Is it like Clash of Clans? It's sort of, I mean, it's the same company, but no, it's not. Clash of Clans is like building a kingdom. I've never played it, but I hear it's like building a kingdom. Clash Royale is different. It's more battling each other with cards, and you have 8 cards in your deck. Oh, Tyler, the whale is in here. I'll send all those out after the stream. I haven't sent it, but I will. But thanks for being a loyal holder, man. You're a whale. You're a Clash whale for sure. Would you exit if Clash gets to 20 million? No. No, that's only the beginning. We were almost at 20 million just on Friday last week. So no, that's just the beginning. You know all these big memes. I'm trying to get listed on CMC right now. You know all these big memes, right? They came out right at like altcoin season or like a brief altcoin season where, you know, the conditions were so right that they all blew up. Like Farcoin came out like during November, December, January timeframe. And even with their decline, they're still at $600 million. Brett, same thing. Toshi, same thing. All these, Mog and Turbo, Cats in a Dog World, Popcat, almost all these new big memes, they just launched at the right time. It really comes down to that. Obviously, they knew how to build a community and market themselves, but they didn't rug. Those are important things. But it was all based on favorable market conditions. So I dream big, obviously. And I won't keep pushing. And my reputation is, I would say, pretty darn good compared to most influencers in this space that just pushes anything. I really feel like when the market conditions improve drastically in the next few months, and I continue pushing forward and building community, who's to say this project can't go to 200 million or 300 million or even a billion after that? Even Snack up here. I used to be very favorable for Snack, and I still am. The great project. When they came out on Cardano, no one really cared, but I really liked the fact that they brought some memeness, some fun to Cardano because it was very serious. And even Charles Hoskinson like snubbed them for so long. Like I don't know why he just refused to like recognize them. But you know, because the community they built and Cardano is so, you know, have such loyal holders, Snack is still holding like at 300 million right now, close to 300 million, which is crazy. It's all about community, really. As long as you have a strong community that believes, that's it. And the thing is, all these, right? All these memes. Here's the one advantage I have. All these memes, like if you're a Pepe fan or a Bonk fan or like SPX 6900 fan or whatever, yeah, it's a community, but there's like nothing more than that. With Clash, we get together and have these tournaments. There's something, there's a substance there, right? And more people can come in, and we can have traditional people come in from the Web 2 world combined with Web 3 world. We have something that we can do together, where almost all these memes, they have nothing else but just the token and the community. We have something already. So that's a leg up for us. Consumer confidence is lower than expected. So that's actually a good thing. Yeah, on Phantom Wallet, you could just have Sol in there and swap directly for Clash. Just make sure, I mean, if you search Clash, it'll come up, but make sure you have the right contract address, which is in the description of this video. And you could do it from Jupiter. You could do it from Meteora. I think that's how you say it. They're pretty big too. You could do it from Moonshot app. If you guys do it, use it. Nvidia's up today too. That's good. Nvidia, Robinhood, two standouts today. Any tips on getting your card approved on Phantom Wallet? Like a credit card? I've never bought directly with a credit card. I don't know how you go about doing that. On a side note, besides just talking about Clash, stocks. Yesterday I decided to buy some Oracle. It had a huge jump yesterday. I mean, the day before because of the announcement of the OpenAI or Stargate or whatever, or no, TikTok or whatever. And it might come down a little bit, but it doesn't matter. I bought it anyways because now Oracle is such. It's like they got themselves involved with everything. I don't know how. They turn into a big cloud player. I guess they use all their servers and converted from database to like cloud. And now they're involved with everything. They're involved with Tesla. They're involved with OpenAI. They're involved with NVIDIA. They're involved with TikTok now. They're becoming a big dominant powerhouse once again, like they were in the 2000s. So I just bought some Oracle options. But they really like, look at their stock. I don't know. Oracle's been leading cloud computing for decades, man. AWS have been leading cloud computing. AWS was the leader, still the leader. Azure has come a long way. When I was in IT, which wasn't decades ago, it was 2017, I was still in it. So 8 years ago, no one asked to be hosted on Oracle. It was databases. It was always databases. They're still the biggest, I think, for database. But no, they weren't into cloud computing like they are now, Marty. Stop trying to make it seem like you're so smart. You said that yesterday, too. I was in the IT world before I started all this. Cam, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you can make a good amount with OnlyFans, I still don't have my account verified. Yeah, I may start OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. What else? I don't really have anything else to share. Other than the world's smartest man. I don't know how you acquire an IQ of 276. You know, I think like they say like Elon, I don't know if it's true. Elon's like 150, which is genius level. Like I think Einstein was like 170s. I remember reading that. Hawking probably was in the 170s. I don't know how you get above 200. But he converted all his assets into Bitcoin. You know, there's a lot of movies or like shows. Like one of my favorites is Prison Break, where someone could see moves 10 moves ahead of everyone else. I figured this guy would be like that. Like he has to be some kind of savant at this point. Didn't he predict the return of Jesus? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he predicted that. LC Gamer. Glad to hear it, LC Gamer. Glad to hear it. All right, guys. So stay strong, my friends. Join Discord. So many new people, new faces in Discord. I'm in here all the time. We got Raid channel now for Clash. We got just Clash chat in general. Really good, but we got a whole lot of other stuff in here, guys. And prepare for the shutdown. It's going to happen. Why do another game like Pokemon battles? Right now, no. No. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one, guys. Take care.